Long, long ago, there was a mighty empire called Rome. It was so powerful that it controlled much of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. But one day, this great empire fell. How could such a strong empire fall? Let's find out. First, let's talk about what an empire is. An empire is like a giant country that includes many different lands and people. The Roman Empire was one of the biggest in history. They were famous for their magnificent roads, impressive buildings, and powerful armies. However, the Roman Empire started to face many challenges. One big problem was its size. Imagine trying to keep control of a giant toy collection that stretches from your bedroom to the whole neighborhood. That's similar to what Rome was dealing with. It was hard to manage such a large territory. Another problem was the empire's economy, which means how it made and used money. Rome spent a lot on its armies to protect its vast lands. But without enough money coming in from taxes or trade, their treasury began to empty. When you spend too much allowance on sweets and toys, your wallet gets lighter too. Also, there were attacks from outside groups called barbarians. These groups wanted to take over parts of the empire. They included tribes like the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns. With the Roman armies stretched thin, these invaders began taking over parts of the empire. Inside Rome itself, there was another big problem: leadership. Imagine if your classroom had too many kids who wanted to be team captain. They'd argue and fight, wouldn't they? That was happening in Rome. There were many bad emperors and constant fighting over who should be the ruler. This made the government weak and unstable. Finally, the people of Rome were also dealing with diseases. Big cities like Rome saw many people getting sick at once. Without enough doctors and medicines, it was tough to keep everyone healthy. All these problems together led to the fall of the Roman Empire. Bit by bit, the western part of the empire weakened. By the year 476, the last emperor of Rome was overthrown by a barbarian leader named Odoacer. Even though the Western Roman Empire fell, the eastern half, known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to survive for many more centuries. The story of Rome's fall reminds us that even the strongest empires need smart leaders, teamwork, and resources to thrive. Isn't it fascinating how history teaches us lessons even today?